Well, hello, hello, hello. I am so excited and thrilled to be here. Come on inside of the StreamYard room. Whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, look, I need you to just go ahead and start dropping your name in the chat as you log on. Let me know where you're from. I am so happy that you're here. So, if you may not know who I am, let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Deneen Merriweather. I am the CEO and founder of Queenpreneurs Academy. It is the number one training environment for women in the world looking to move from their career to their calling and navigate their journey from their passions to their profits by doing what? Building their courage, confidence, and competence so they can accept, believe, and commit to what it is that God has called them to do. So look, we are here. We are here. This is a taste of the Inner Circle Collective. Yep, the Inner Circle Collective. If you haven't heard of us, it's okay because we're new. We're new. We're not even on the scene yet. But we're going to give you a taste of what the Inner Circle Collective is all about. So the Inner Circle Collective has been arranged, formed to assist women who are looking to be caused to grow in the area of their career, their health, their finances, their relationships, and their spirituality. We're going to cause women to reclaim, reimagine, and rediscover who it is that God has created them to be. So look, we're not about trying to fix nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. We want you to get in this community that you're already whole and complete. Put it inside the chat that I am whole and I am complete. There is nothing broken. There is nothing to fix, but it's okay to have goals. It's okay to change goals. It's okay to move in different directions. It's nothing wrong with how you are and how you move as long as it aligns with the commitment that you made for yourself. So I want to know, are you committed to grow? Are you committed to get to where it is that you believe God is pointing you to? If so, I want you to stay here for this conversation. Yes, you are whole and you are complete. Thank you so much for being here with us today. All right, y'all. So let me tell you how this is going to go. I'm going to introduce you to some amazing women who are either guests of the Inner Circle Collective or who are members of the Inner Circle Collective. So together, there's a group of us that have been united in what it is that we want to do in our communities, which is to serve women. And we made the decision that we're going to work together. We're going to become partners. So within the next couple of months, we will be launching the Inner Circle Collective, where we'll be training women in those areas that I mentioned before: career, finances, relationship, spirituality, and health. So now I want to give you an opportunity to do some housekeeping notes. I always like you to be where your feet are. If you are moving around, I want you to stop moving around. I want you to take this next couple of hours to listen, take notes, get and glean what it is that God has called you here to the space. Because if you're seeing us for a reason. Go get a notepad, get a pen, write down people's contact information, copy links, press on stuff. And it's good if you could get to a computer. Now, if you're not on a computer and the phone is what you have, that's fine. But I want you to be able to take full advantage of everything that we're going to be dropping today. So get to a place where you can take some notes, you can write, you can be by yourself, undisturbed. You can be where your feet are, not driving, because if you're driving, you can't take notes. But get to a place where you can take notes, pull a car over, do whatever it is that you need to do so you can get what it is that God has for you today. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you our first speaker for this morning. Her name is Pamela Hempstead. She has a couple of areas of expertise, but I'm going to let her introduce herself to you and to tell you, why she's here today. I'm going to ask, a question or so, just so you can get an idea of the type of woman that she is. But I want you to prepare yourself, because we're going to be talking about areas of life that are really important to you and what matters. So, Pamela, do you mind coming to the stage with me? Good morning, Pamela.
I am present and accounted for.
Okay. All right. Turn up your volume just a little bit so we can hear you clearly, loud and clear. Okay, let's do another mic check. Pamela, you there?
Testing.
Yes,
Is this
so
better?
Yes, it is. Thank
testing,
you so much.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. So thank you so much for being here this morning. So I first want to give you an opportunity to to just introduce yourself to the audience, what it is, that you do, and they could get a clear, I guess, picture of how you move and how you can actually serve them.
Absolutely. So, Deneen, I just want to thank you for blessing me with the opportunity to share some of my wares and my works, my talents, my purpose. I am Pamela Hempstead, Christian author, licensed therapist, gentle warrior, and a friend. And I just look forward to encouraging you, the single woman, you, the single man, you, the married woman, the married man. We're going to talk about what it takes to be your best self in a relationship today. And so I'm ready to get started. Let's go.
All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. So first, I also want to say too, thank you, Pamela, for saying yes. Pamela will be one of our guest coaches here in this space. She is a guest today, along with the other members that are a part of the Inner Circle Collective. So thank you so much for saying yes. Thank you so much for being here. She will be focusing on the area of relationship. So without further ado, I'm going to get out the way and I'm going to allow Pamela to take this stage and work it out and do her thing. Pamela, again, thank you. I'm so excited. You guys get your pens out because she's about to bring it.
Come on. Would you marry you? That's a question that I want you to consider. Today, we're going to talk about 6 steps to becoming your best self in love and life. Because not everybody wants to get married, right? So who is this for? This is for you if you are single, if you are married, if you always have complaints about other people or yourself, or if you're struggling in a relationship, or if you're just looking to improve. Who am I? Pamela Hempstead, Christian first, licensed therapist, author of 2 phenomenal God-breathed books, auntie mom of 5 beautiful nieces, a beast in the gym. And I'm so excited to talk to you all today about the concept of marrying yourself. So let's dive into step number 1. Oh, I just made a boo-boo. All right. So step number 1 is loving yourself. There's a verse in Matthew 22, verse 39, the B side, that Jesus tells us to love your neighbor as yourself. We always focus on loving the neighbor, rarely on loving ourselves. Self-love is what you need first in order to demonstrate love for others. That entails giving yourself grace, speaking to yourself like you would a best friend. Consider what's in your mind, the thoughts that you think about yourself and the things that you say about yourself. Studies show that your brain believes everything it hears you say. So it's important for you to talk about yourself like you like yourself. Think about how you communicate to your bestie, your significant other. Would you say the things to him or her that you say to yourself about yourself? Step 2 is get to know your creator. James Baldwin said, if you knew whence you came, there are absolutely no limitations to where you can go. Psalm 34, verse 8 says, oh, taste and see how good the Lord is. Oh, the joys of those who take refuge in him. Everyone believes that their parents know them best or their best friend knows them best, but no one knows you better than your creator. Genesis 1:26, God says, let us create man and woman in our own image. In Psalm 139, verses 13 and 14, David talks about how God was present when we were knit in our mother's womb. That tells me that I had to be somewhat important for him to spend time being present and knitting me in my mother's womb, sealing that stamp of approval that I can come into this world because he had plans and things for me to do. It's important for you to know who you are and whose you are. Next up, you want to clean house. That's both figuratively and literally. So from a literal perspective, if you look at that picture on the left, how does that make your mind feel? For me, it makes me feel a little anxious, and it makes me want to just jump in and pull everything out and make it look like the picture on the right. So there are some statistics that suggest that when you have a clear and clutter-free environment, that your brain can be at ease and free to create and ideate. But there's also life experiences that can clutter our brain. There is a thing called adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs. And ACEs affect 63% of US adults. At least 63% of them have had one experience of an ACE. So what are ACEs? There are 10 that are listed, and you count the experiences, and that gives you a score. They're under the category of emotional, physical, sexual abuse, emotional, verbal neglect, emotional or physical neglect, mental illness, substance use or abuse, domestic violence, and then absence of a parent by way of incarceration, divorce, or death. The more you experience, you add numbers of ACEs. So 63% of US adults have at least one. And the more ACEs you experience, the more it impacts you later on in life. So there's a saying that children are resilient, that they'll shake it off, that they'll be fine. But the way this study was determined was there was a doctor who worked at a weight loss clinic in the Bay Area. He had a client who lost 100 pounds, and then she gained it all back. And when he brought her in for an interview, he asked her what happened. How did this happen? And he started asking her questions about her childhood. And he discovered that she had been sexually molested as a child. That led to asking questions to over 17,000 patients. And that is how the study of the adverse childhood experiences came to be. Now, when you have a higher number of ACEs score, that leads to later life health ailments. We're talking big ticket items like obesity, like diabetes, like COPD, heart disease, even cancer. You see sexual promiscuity, which leads to a variety of things, all stemming from adverse childhood experiences. So when I suggest that you clean house, I am suggesting that you look back over your life and determine what you need to heal. Maybe all you need to do is declutter your house. But chances are there are some things in your past that need to be addressed and healed. Do that. The next step is to have Jesus and a therapist. I'm a Christian, I'm a therapist, and I have a therapist. It's important for you to recognize that there are things that you may not be able to solve or reconcile outside of yourself or by yourself. So consider consulting with someone who has some skills and the ability to assist you with connecting you to some tools that will aid you in navigating life just a little bit easier. I share this with everyone that I have the blessing to speak to. I remember I lost my brother suddenly. He had a massive heart attack, June 11th, 2021. And I was just doing what I knew to do. Stay busy, do all the things, go to work. And I remember a friend called me, and we work together, and she said, Pam, why am I seeing emails from you? Are you not off? Why are you not off? And I said, I hadn't thought about it. She said, I need you to take time and feel this and heal. And when she said that, I realized that for me is darkness, and it was just dark everywhere. And I'd had another friend who texted me the number for his therapist previously. And so I texted two therapists, and I had in mind who would respond, but the other one responded. And he happened to have availability the very next day. And so when I met with him, I was talking to him about how I'm a strong Black woman, how I was raised by strong Black women. I never saw my mother cry, I never saw my granny cry. And that's what I equate strength with. And he said to me, "What if you could live in the land of and?" And I said, "What is that?" He said, "You can be strong and you can cry. You can miss your brother and you can continue being productive in life." And that sounds so simple. But when I tell you that was a game changer for me, it helped me to give myself grace, to feel all of my feelings, and to continue being the woman that God has called me to be. And I attribute that to the help of a therapist. So, how do you find a good therapist? Well, you can go to psychologytoday.com. And it's kind of like match.com, if you will. They have all kinds of filters that you can use to find the person that you're looking for. You can check by race, you can check by the area of issue that you're wanting to work through, or whether it's grief or anxiety or depression, bipolar disease, any of those mental health concerns that you may be struggling with that you want to address. You can check for people who accept your insurance, whether they're virtual or in person. You can check all of those boxes and they will give you someone who can assist you. And I just want to say this: just because you find one and it doesn't quite click with that person doesn't mean that therapy is not for you. Okay, it just means that that person was not for you. So recognize that you may need to meet with a couple of therapists before you get the right one, but don't let it stop you. Albert Einstein said we cannot solve problems with the same thought process that put us there, right? So we've got to learn how to think differently, learn how to address the issues that we're experiencing from a different perspective. Step number 5 is having a growth mindset. The concept of neuroplasticity suggests that no matter what age we are, our brains are able to learn new things. And a growth mindset sets you in place to do just a fixed mindset, someone who says we've always done it that way, someone who says I don't do X, Y, and Z, right? But having that fixed mindset, it keeps you stuck and not able to grow or be flexible or nimble. And when you have a growth mindset, you are able to be useful to the one who put you here. Having a growth mindset says, "Ooh, currently I'm not able to do that, but I'm working on it." Right? So you won't, just because you have this new growth mindset doesn't mean that all of a sudden you're going to be able to do all the things that you put your mind to doing, but it makes you open to learning ways to make it happen. And I don't know about you, but there have been plenty of times when I have prayed and asked God to deliver me from something. And the way He came about it was incredibly different from how I would have come about it. Having that growth mindset says, God made a way in the midst of it all. Having a growth mindset in relationships says, while I would not have done it that way, I respect how you did it, and it's all good, right? Finally, we have temple care. Now, a lot of us know all of the right things that we're supposed to do. It's one thing to know, it's another to do. So let's start with drinking water. We need to drink it all day, every day. Our brains need water. Our bodies need water. And you want to drink straight water. You don't want to get your water from coffee or tea. You want to drink water. You want whole foods. And I'll tell you, as you age, your body will start to show all of your decisions, all of your past experiences. And when you're putting whole foods in your body, it helps you to battle the things that age will introduce: inflammation, all the arthritis, aches, and pains. Eating those whole foods will bless you in so many ways. It sets a wonderful habit so that you are used to eating whole, healthy foods. You want healthy, lean proteins, whether if you're a pescatarian, that's going to be your fish, preferably wild caught, your salmon, your shrimp, lobster, trout, snapper. If you are a carnivore, then you're going with your lean chicken, your lean turkey and beef. And you want to make sure that your cuts are lean and you're not eating the skin. When it comes to your carbohydrates, you want to go with your sweet potatoes, your quinoa, your jasmine rice, things that are going to give you a good fill up, but also do your body good. And the third is your vegetables, and they're still in the carbohydrate category. So your broccoli, your leafy greens, your cruciferous, all of those are necessary. Now, then you want to add healthy fats. That's your avocado, your seeds, and your nuts. Finally, you want to combine those. You want a colorful plate. You want your plate to have a variety of colors. So if you've got a light skin plate, that's a problem, okay? You want multiple colors on that plate. Cabbage, for instance, most of us are used to the green cabbage, but it also comes in red and purple. And so think about all of the different ways that you can sample a variety of vegetables. Try them out, test them out. Next up is sleep. Let me tell you, sleep is critical for you. And it's something that I took for granted for so many years. But what you will come to find, if God blesses you with any amount of age, is that your sleep is a blessing and it's necessary for brain health, for body health. In fact, if you don't get your sleep right, it negatively affects your hunger hormones, leptin and ghrelin. Ghrelin tells you when you're hungry, leptin tells you when you're satiated. If you don't get the sleep that your body needs, then you have higher ghrelin levels that tell you you're hungry and lower leptin levels that tell you that you're satiated. So you might be feeling hungry when actually you need a nap. Isn't that something? It's so important for us to get good sleep health. So be thinking about ways that you can increase your sleep. As grown adults, we need 7 to 8 hours of rest per night. Finally, motion is lotion. Moving your body is so important, and lifting weights is critical, especially for the aging adult. Lifting weights keeps our bones strong. And I know that is such an interesting concept, but it's true. So listen, when you lift weights, it causes little striations in your muscles. And as you rest, those muscles rest and they heal and they get stronger. They pull on the bone and cause the bone to be stronger. The bone, I used to think it was a hard substance, like this. It actually isn't. It sloughs off and it regenerates based on what it is called to do. If you lift heavy weights, it keeps your bones strong. And that's why I've been so passionate about the need to be in the gym and lift weights, not to punish myself for anything that I've eaten. Listen, look at exercising as a blessing, an opportunity to move your body and celebrate what your body can do, not to punish your body for having eaten X, Y, and Z. So there you have it. 6 steps to becoming your best self, both in love and in life. And those steps that I have over there, they're a little jagged because sometimes we don't always get them right, and we might start with having Jesus and a therapist and then get to know God. It's not a linear step. It's how you come to make it work. So I've got a quick offer for you all. And before we go to that offer, I just want to look at the fact that you You may be here over on the far left and you want to be all the way over on the right, or you might be all the way at the bottom and you want to get up to the top. My favorite quote is by Arthur Ashe. Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. And it also reminds me of the concept of how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? So just start where you are and just start working on it. If you need to declutter your mind, just start piece by piece and start throwing away whatever is not serving you, right? Okay, so here's my special offer. As you know, I am an author of 2 books. Single with Purpose, The Single Sister's Tool for Living Single and Celibate and Loving It. I released that book in 2012. Wow. And I have just released the 3rd edition of it. I am in the process of waiting for it to clear printing so that I can get copies in my hand, but I'm so excited about that. And so I've got a bundle for anyone who's interested in getting both of my books, Single with Purpose or Inconvenient Obedience. That bundle would be $35. But also, if you are on the single side and you're looking to work through being your best single self, the single bundle is what I have for you, which includes the book as well as the workbook. And if you are in the Cincinnati area, I will be there over the Labor Day weekend. So I am hoping that you will take advantage of the bundle opportunity. Both bundle options are $35. And if you are deciding that you want to do all 4, we can work up even a more special bundle offer. But send a text to 980-281-0603 and let me know how many bundles you want. So with that, I will turn it back over to you, Denise. Thank y'all.
First, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully, you guys wrote down your 6 steps. I have actually put Pamela information inside of the chat. If you didn't have a chance to write it down, it's an opportunity for you to take a screenshot. It's an opportunity for you to go ahead and send your text message if you would like those bundle packages, or if you want a consultation to talk to her, get on her calendar and see how it is that she can help you with whatever area you want to focus on. I know she gave you steps that can improve the relationships that you have with others, the relationship you can have with yourself, and more importantly, some health tips to assist you with being the best version of yourself inside and out. So I want to say thank you so much, Pamela, for being here. Thank you so much for blessing the people. Look, I also put inside the chat the link for you to go ahead, join the wait list for the collective. It is going to be an amazing membership opportunity for you. We will be launching in January of 2026. We would have guest coaches like Pamela, but we also have coaches that you will hear from today that will live inside of that community and be able to feed you each and every day. So thank you again, Pamela, for saying yes. Thank you so much for being here. How can people follow you if they want to follow you on any platform?
So you know I'm old school. I have everything with my name.
No, that's awesome.
Nice and easy. So look up Pamela Hempstead. I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram, and I've already gotten an order for all 4. So we're going to work up a nice special bundle for this person who has made this request. I want to thank you already for blessing me with this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Have an amazing rest of the day. Stay locked in, share it on your page, do all the things, Pamela, that you need to do. Invite people to this community and to this space. And we thank you so much again for being here. All right. So look, if you have not shared this video out yet, what you waiting on? Why are you being stingy? A community that grows together stays together. Yes? Do you agree? Do you not agree? So look, I need you to go ahead, share this broadcast. Let people know that the Inner Collective is here and they can get a taste today. All right. So look, without further ado, it is time for our next presenter to come up. It will be Miss Christy Davis. She is our AI architect. She is our tech specialist. She is the person that's going to be inside of the community helping you with all things technology, right? I know for some people you may be afraid of technology for whatever reason, right? Maybe you feel like you're too old, maybe you feel like you don't need it. Now I'm telling you, let me take the glasses off, because my sister said when I want to make a point, I always take the glasses off. Let me tell you something. You need technology. I'm gonna need you to get on board. Look, we going to Bitcoin. Look, currency not gonna be the same. Jobs are already not the same. Job market is already not the same. Communication is not the same. Do y'all remember we used to have phones on the wall in our house with a cord that we had to walk around with? Do we do that anymore? So you can sit back and not get on board with this AI and this tech, you're going to be in trouble. Don't get left behind, and ain't no need to. Why? Because you got Christy Davis. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring my girl Christy to the stage. Christy! Hey, sis.
Hey, thank you so much for this opportunity. I really
Yes.
appreciate it. I'm so glad to be here today. And just being authentic, y'all, my stomach is nervous.
Okay, well,
But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
It's your
'Cause
family. Y'all put it in the chat and let her know that y'all
I know
family.
God got me. I know.
Yeah.
I know
God
God got me. And another thing, I'm going to go ahead and call it out so nobody has to say anything. I'm very busy, so that's why you see all that junk behind me on the table. Okay, now we got it out in the open. We got it out in the open. Let's move on.
All right.
Are we
All
ready?
right. Well,
Are we ready to learn something about AI today?
all right. Well, I'm going to let you go ahead and get started. Thank you so much, Christy, for saying yes. You will find her inside of the community. So look, I'm going to drop the chat. I want you to join the waitlist if you are interested and want to be in a community where it's a safe space, a nurturing space for women to be able to explore and recharge and redefine themselves, reimagine themselves in the area of career, health, finances, relationships, and spirituality. You don't want to miss this launch in 2026. All right, Christy, I'm going to go ahead and get out your way, give you an opportunity to speak to the people, introduce yourself, and do all the things that you do very, very well.
Hello? There we go. Okay, so here we go. I'm having a little bit of difficulty showing this slide here. Can you see my screen? I don't think you can. Okay, all right. So we're talking about cancel tech overwhelm. 5 ways to bring your business into the light with AI. I think we have a lag here. Okay.
Hey, Christy,
all right.
come back to the screen in StreamYard, and I can move your slides for you with the presentation that you have inside of StreamYard.
Okay, I have a demo also, which requires me to share my screen.
You probably won't be able to do that, so let's use the slides that you have inside of StreamYard.
All righty, then we will not have any demos today, but I will talk about what the different tools can do. All righty, so why are you here? You're doing too much manually. You're tired of tech overwhelm. You know there has to be a better way. Oftentimes in my past, before AI came along, I was up for hours, long hours. There was even times where I was doing ministry work, and my bestie can tell you, we slept on the church building floor trying to get stuff done because it was just not enough time. So there is a better way. Who am I? Meet your AI freedom architect. I'm Christy Davis, a Christian, a devoted wife to Mr. Super Fantastic Michael D. Davis. Hey, I'm also an author and encourager, and I want to let you know that I am really committed to helping people get further along in their business. I want you to win. So, what can you do? I have a light framework that I've created, LIGHT. And that framework is what helped me and helps me to be able to help other people increase their business, buy back their time, and do things that matter most to them. So we're going to start out with L. L is for leverage. Enhance your marketing. You're going to use AI to attract online clients faster. You'll use AI to identify those customers, to identify their customer journey, to all the things that you want to know about your customers so that you can connect authentically with them. Now, it improves targeting, speeds up your content creation, and also increases engagement. I was going to do a presentation, a demo on ChatGPT, but since that's not working today, essentially with ChatGPT, it's an AI software that allows you to type in plain language instructions, and it gives you back an answer based upon your question. So say you're looking for, I want to do 10 Instagram posts. I will tell ChatGPT, create me 10 Instagram posts with Christian coaches as the target. And I want to be able to offer them something at the end or do an email series. Instead of sitting down one by one, making an email or making those posts, I can ask ChatGPT to do that for me. And in a matter of seconds, it has all 10 of my posts created. That is amazing. It's a game changer. So the other tool that I have, excuse me one moment while I get some water. See, ma'am, I'm listening to you. So we have automations that my company also does. And the second letter in the framework is I. In the light framework is I, integrate. You want to optimize your operations. You want to automate repetitive tests. You want to streamline your back end, auto send emails. You don't want to be sitting at your computer waiting for emails to come in, answering them one by one. Most of the times when someone asks a question or someone email, there's a canned response that can be sent to them automatically. And also it can be put in a form that's your voice and genuine and authentic. So we want to reduce admin overload. I don't know about you, but first starting out in a business, I don't have a lot of money to hire a bunch of assistants or a bunch of help. So AI, ChatGPT becomes my assistant. And Zapier is another automation tool that connects your email system, your marketing system, all kinds of systems. It's a basic connector that will allow you to automate the things that you want to have done. For instance, someone comes to your website and they fill out a new form. This tool, this plugin can automatically send them a welcome email and also tag them inside of your software. Or if you're using Google Sheets, it could add a row to your Google Sheets. So that is amazing. You don't have to sit there and craft the email and send it to them and then add them to your database and then add them to your spreadsheet or whatever. AI is going to do it for you. I mean, it's awesome. So the next letter in our framework is G, grow. You have to boost your creativity. Now, AI does not replace you, please. You is what makes you you. You're unique. So AI just helps you to get things done faster and be able to spend more time on the things that matter most to you. So I remember a time I was sitting down and I needed to write a month's worth of posts, 30 days worth of posts. And it took me 3 days to get all of that done. It was so frustrating because I was getting burned out and I cannot do this anymore. There's got to be a better way. And then when I discovered ChatGPT, I was able to type in a simple prompt and ask it to create not only the posts, but a posting schedule, recommended time, and a prompt for using with the image creation AI tool to generate an image to go along with my post. Amazing. I could do that in 4 hours the entire month, what used to take me to do 3 days. Crazy. So it boosts your productivity and it also boosts your creativity. Okay, the next letter in the framework is H, honor. You want to improve your decision making. God has blessed us with this life, this gift, this ability to connect with one another, to share. But if we're burned out, we're no good to anyone. No good to anyone at all. Nothing. And what my favorite thing to say is hockey stick, no, we don't have time for that. So with H in the framework, honor, you want to honor your time, honor your calling, honor your mind by reducing decision fatigue. And AI can help you do that through analyzing and simplifying decisions and tracking trends and summarizing data and gaining clarity in less time. Those things are game changers when you have help. Now, T, the last letter in our framework of LIGHT, light, is to teach. You want to enhance your customer service. You need to serve and support and scale. You can have an AI-powered chat that answers questions for you so that you free it up to do other things. You want to have automated follow-up. So I don't know if many of you are familiar with Instagram. Someone will say their little spiel, and then they'll say comment freedom in the chat if you interested in getting my freebie or whatever. And so you do that. There's a automated system behind that. When it sees that trigger word, it automatically does what you want it to do. Send your audience a link, send your audience a response saying thank you for engaging, whatever it is. There's many things you can have it do. Okay. So in summary, the light method, LIGHT, leverage. You want to enhance your marketing with AI-powered content. Integrate, optimize operations with automated workflows. Grow, boost your creativity with AI-generated visuals and content. Honor your time, your calling, improve your decision-making with AI-powered analysis. Last, you want to teach and enhance customer service with automated support. Use this framework to cancel tech overwhelm and bring your business into the light with AI. Now, I have a couple of freebies that I would like to offer you. I have two freebies. One is a Canva shortcut playbook, and the other one is 50 ways to use ChatGPT to snatch back your time. That's right, snatch back your time. So I want you to scan the free ebooks QR code, go to my website, fill out the form, and collect your freebies. Absolutely free. And then if you'd like to connect with us at a later time, on the right-hand side, scan the QR code on the right, connect with us, and meet us all on our social media platform. Look forward to working with you. Look forward to you blessing my life and me blessing your life. And I'm just so happy and thrilled to be here. And thank you so much for your attention. To God be the glory. Deneen, take it back to you.
Well, so happy. Thank you so much, Christy. Awesome job. Thank you for giving us the light, bringing us into the light, and getting us ready for what it is that we need to do to wrap our loving arms around technology, allow AI to serve us and not scare us. Like, don't allow yourself to have fear around things that you will need. And it's okay. This is one of my favorite sayings that I say all the time. It takes effort and it takes time. Put it inside the chat. It takes effort and it takes time. I don't want you to feel bad because you're just starting and that it may be challenging. and that it may not be in flow yet? Do you know everything that you have learned how to do took effort and took time? To tie your shoe, to cook food, to drive a car, to earn the academic scholarship to the school of your choice, to play a sport, to play an instrument. Put in the chat, it takes effort and it takes time. I want you to embrace that, because sometimes we don't feel like things should be challenging. But I want you to know that's a part of life. That's a part of mastery, right? Mastery only takes place when you don't need to use any intellectual power in order to do it, right? And there's so many things in our life that we're able to do that way. One thing is tying your shoe. I mean, I don't even think about that anymore, but I remember that it was very difficult for me when I first started. So look, I invite you to take advantage of those freebies. Again, I'm going to flash Christy's email address or website on your screen for you to have access to those freebies. Also, look, I want to drop here as well the link for you to join our wait list to be in the collective. So I don't know what it is that you may need to work on, right? Maybe it is your finances. Maybe it is your career. Maybe it's the relationships that you have in your life that are not where you want them to be. Well, we're going to have coaches that specialize in all those areas. So we're going to be launching January of 2026. If you want to be on that wait list, if you want to receive the information, if you want to be able to come to a free session that I'm going to be doing on August the 16th, I'm just saying, you might want to go ahead and get on the wait list. You might want to go ahead and get on the wait list. You don't want to miss out on any of the freebies. The FOMO is real. So don't be in the FOMO. Just do what you need to do. Get on the list so you can be in the know. Thank you so much, Christy, for being here. Thank you so much for helping us with our AI tool and technology and allowing us to be more confident and walking towards AI and walking towards the tech that we need in our life to survive. Thank you so much for saying yes and being in this community. All right, guys. So look, Christy was our second person. She is the AI architect. You should feel a little more comfortable now about approaching AI and how it can serve you, especially women in business. Now it is time for us to get with the well-rested yogi. Look, how many of y'all are overworked, overstressed, overscheduled? Just put in the chat, me. And she comes from an amazing perspective, right? If you looked at the registration page, or if you came here, you know, her title today is all about, or if you received my email, you're on my email list, I sent out an email, but her topic today is Moms, Not Martyrs, Rest as a Success Strategy. Now, I don't know if you guys get excited or can relate to that. I know I can. Definitely starting out, I had the pressure of trying to be all things to all people, doing things that I knew that I couldn't handle because I wanted to look good, or I didn't feel comfortable asking for help, or I just wanted to be at all the events and all the things at church and all the things at the school. And it didn't really help me health-wise. My house was a wreck, like all these things. But when you are dealing with motherhood, I was nursing, right? And I didn't work at a company at the time, was very supportive of me nursing. So there was a lot of challenges and things that I was dealing with as a mom and the pressures of it. But what she's saying is, look, rest is a success strategy. If you want to be successful in motherhood, if you want to be successful in your career, if you want to be successful in your relationships, in your marriage, and everything that you touch, guess what? Rest is the answer. So without further ado, let me go ahead and call to the stage. Gwen, are you ready? Are you here? Are you available?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
Camera.
Say it again.
I see myself, but I don't see my face. Hold on.
Yeah, I do not see your face. So while Gwen is working on getting her camera situated, I just want to ask you to put this inside the chat. Tell me some of the takeaways that you got so far for the speakers that we had, right? From Pamela, I know I need to have self-love, and I need to be careful on what it is that I'm saying to myself, because if I wouldn't say it to a friend, I shouldn't say it to me. If I wouldn't say it to a friend, I should not say it to me, right? And I think that was just such a powerful thing. All right, it looks like Gwen is ready. Let me go ahead and bring her back to the stage. All right, Gwen, are you ready to help us with prioritizing, taking care of ourselves, and getting the rest that we need?
Yes, indeed. I'm not only ready, I am passionate about the thing. And I hope that by the end, all of you will be too, and understand how vital rest is to your success and just all areas of your life.
All right, I'm getting out of the way. Take it.
All right, rest as a success strategy, rebuilding your life around peace, not pressure. Now, mainly my ministry right now is guided towards moms, and this doesn't mean you have to have given natural birth. This is mom figures, this is aunties, this is godmothers. This is anybody that steps into a role as a woman guiding other people, whether that's children. And if you are like me and you are a caregiver to a certain degree, we are parenting our parents, and I'm here to tell you that they do not listen. They are disobedient and wild. So pray for me as I try to work with my mom, and I'll pray for all of y'all as well. Okay, so as they said, I'm Gwendolyn Althea. I am known as the Well-Rested Yogi because this is my life's passion. I believe this is my designed work. I have been rest passionate all the way going back to childhood. Who knew that my love of naps could become a career? God bless. And so, but before we want to get started, I just want to make sure that I understand who's in the room. If you understand that this is the place for you. And I'm just asking, are any of these things you? Do you recognize any of yourself? Are you exhausted, always giving, feel lazy if you rest, not taking time for you? Drop that number. How many of these apply to you? It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 1 through 4. It could be all the things. But if you recognize yourself here, let us know in the comments. All of them. I see you, Tanya Taylor, all of them. I feel it because that was me at one time too. And then we'll just do another quick check-in. Just read through these right quickly. Are you the only one everybody leans on? Do you constantly feel like you should be doing more even when you are stretched thin? Have you forgotten what it feels like to rest without guilt? Are you looking for more space just to be you again? Not just a mom. I remember having my son, and from then on, I just became Solomon's mom. I wasn't Gwendolyn anymore. There goes Solomon's mom. Solomon's mom is here. Solomon's here to pick him up. We're going to give the work to Solomon's mom. I had a name. I had no identity to other people. And do you want to model a different way of being for your children? And for me, that is one of the most important parts of this work, is creating a new legacy for how your children will see mothers, how your sons will see their wives, the expectations that they will set, and how important it is for them to see you living the thing. My mom used to tell me a lot of things, and one of them was things that women shouldn't be doing, but we do out of necessity. And I heard it, and she said it, but I still saw her doing. And so when I grew up, what did I do? I did as I saw. And so clarity is currency. I firmly believe that. Having clarity is worth all the money you can imagine. When you don't understand your challenges, when you don't understand how to navigate them, and when you don't understand how to get out and to go through and to evolve into your next level, it's almost like having no money. Time is money, clarity is currency. And so I did a little bit of research because I was curious about how our community has interpreted rest, how we rest, what do those studies look like? And they pretty much turned out to be exactly what I thought they would be. We have higher rates of sleep apnea. And with that, we also have lower rates of being properly diagnosed. And if you're not aware, sleep apnea can actually take you out while you're asleep. So when you see people with that CPAP, it's a serious situation. It is a very serious situation. And what I also learned is, did you know that you can sleep too much? I was familiar with the fact that if you don't get enough rest, it impacts so many areas of your body. Only to then read, you can also sleep too much. And it can also not only impact the areas in your body and health and wealth, but it can also take you out of here. That to me was mind blowing. And so again, going back to being passionate around our community, learning how to rest, how to take time, how to make space for stillness, how to not just reduce stress, but to learn how to eliminate it, which is the key. You can reduce it all you want to, but if it's there, it's still having an impact. And so again, I'm Gwendolyn Althea, the well-rested yogi. And as you can see, I'm not only a warrior healer, this is just such a passionate area for me. And if you know me, you know that I like big naps, and I cannot lie. I love them. I have loved them since preschool, and I do not go without them. But what that taught me is that rest is a success strategy. And really quickly, I'll just share that, just like Deneen said, I was trying to do all the things. All the things. And that started actually in high school. I'm up to the middle of the night studying. Some days I would forget to eat. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to earn a scholarship. I get to school. I'm doing this. I'm trying to do that. I'm in this org, that org, trying to do all these different things. And then I get married and have a child. And that's a whole different ball game, a different level of exhaustion, a different level of having to learn how to navigate different things in a space that nobody at the time, 24 years ago, people were really talking about. They were keeping everything secret. They were depressed and going through too, but nobody wanted to say anything. And so what I realized with that model of motherhood of just giving, no space for myself, just sacrifice, that was not going to work for me. It was not going to work for me. And so I wanted to do something different. And it was challenging because some of the things I was doing, nobody else was doing. And a lot of my friends hadn't had kids yet. So it was just me and Saul and his dad trying to figure these things out. But I realized that it was important for me to maintain my own identity as Gwendolyn. Happy to be Solomon's mom at school, but I can't be just Solomon's mom everywhere else. And so it was important for me to find time for myself, to keep my naps, to do the things that I was still passionate about, to not let go of my hobbies, to not let go of my dreams. And I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but I had a conversation with my son a few years ago, and without prompting, he shared that watching me live that way has inspired him to go after his own dreams. And I was like, oh, yes, that is great. Because I don't want him to have children if he so chooses, and have daughters and think that they are just mandated to do the dishes and mop the floors and clean up, and the sons go out and play and do whatever they want to. I don't want him to have a wife and feel like she is the person that's supposed to do all the things. I go to work and come home and sit down and just wait for her to always bring me a plate. I want him to know that relationships are balanced, that they are reciprocal. And so what I noticed too is that the more rested I was, the more clear my thoughts were. I just was able to hone in on things so much clearer, and it increased my creativity, my productivity, my performance at work, and in other areas of my life. I promise you, if you have been doing all of these things exhausted, imagine all that you could do if you were fully well rested. Just think about that for just a minute. You've been doing all these things for decades almost on empty. Now, what happens if you keep moving through life with a full tank? That's the game changer. That is the game changer. That is it. And that is all. And so rest is a building block. And you can see on the screen for yourself. I hate for people to read slides to me, but these are the things that rest does for you. These are the things that it impacts. And these are the things that we often don't pay a lot of attention to. We don't understand. We don't know which questions to ask when we go see our practitioners to get the information that we need to improve. And so more about me, just a little bit. Why am I here? Again, I have been passionate about this for a long time. I am a coach, a yoga teacher, a meditation leader, a sound healer, entrepreneur, clearly a boy mom, a writer, and I love a good race because I'm addicted to the bling. The medals are just, I will show up. And more importantly, and more closer to my heart, I am here for you, but I'm also here because of my mom. I am here because of my two grandmothers and my aunts that are on the right-hand side, and my girlfriends, so that they also can see a different way, walk a different way, and in honor of my ancestors who didn't have the knowledge or the skills or the know-how to create the same space of rest for them. And so in honor of them, every nap, I think of them before I close my eyes. And so once upon a time, like I said, I was just moving and grooving, just going. I didn't think I had time for rest. I had to take care of my son. You know, I got a divorce. I was like, I got to figure out how to make all these things happen. And so I started to tell myself a story that deep down I knew was not true. I don't have time. It's not that important. I'll do it when I'm done. Then when you're done, I found something else to do. You know, I'm up till late in the middle of the night, and I was starting to collapse. Just everything was starting to fall apart because I was just too tired to keep all the things moving. And I just had to sit still one day and thinking, okay, God, what is going wrong? And all I heard was my bishop's voice, my late bishop's voice, be still and know. And it took me back to being in a service, and he was in one of his prophetic elevations. And he said to me, be still and know. And he charged me to sing it every day. To this day, I still sing that song. I don't do it every day, but I come back to it often and often and often. And there is so much power in stillness and getting to learn, not leaning, not just more to God's voice, but the voice that he put within you, that he's speaking to you from the inside out. The inside out. A lot of people will talk about work-life balance. I don't believe in work-life balance. It's a scam. Because first of all, if we title that, who would put work first? Why would you do that? That's not life. It's a tool to help fund your life, but it's not life. So none of us will put work first. And if you are putting work first, I encourage you to just think about some ways that you can adjust that, where life is life. Okay. One of my favorite quotes from Audre Lorde is, caring for myself is not self-indulgence, it's self-preservation. And that is an act of political warfare. When I found this quote some years back, to me, it just really solidified the importance of rest, why we all need it. And her message was specifically for us. Now we've seen the people co-opt the term self-preservation, self-care, but this is where it originated and this is its original intent. And so once I adopted that, like they said, now I'm sleeping better, now well rested now. It has been a different type of life. And so going forward, I would just ask you to reflect on the beliefs that are keeping you stuck, reframe those thoughts so that they are not hindering you, but taking you higher, and reclaim rest as your secret weapon for sustainable success. I promise you, there's nothing like it. Because how you going to win when you ain't right within? Lauryn Hill, the great prophet, she told us right way back in 1998. She had it right. We got to get ourselves together within. And so I'm just going to share a future offering and then a gift. And so coming in January 2026, this will be a whole coaching offering. Moms not martyrs, because I believe that that's what we are. We should be viewing ourselves as moms, not martyrdom, not mothering from a space of just pressure and just this fast pace. And so rest as a success strategy, rebuilding your life around peace, not pressure. So look out for that in January 2026. But for today, what I'm going to offer, come on, click for me, is if you sign up for my email list, the Well Rested Yogi email list, you will receive for free Mindful Motherhood, a healing workbook for Black mothers reclaiming rest and radical self-care. It is something that I created just to start to get, your mind to start thinking in a different way, just to kind of start getting you leaning towards the practice, just kind of starting that mind shift before you really, really get into work. And as a bonus, the first 3 that sign up for the mailing list will not only get that workbook, you'll get a one-on-one 30-minute strategy call with me and another special bonus. And so if any of this resonates with you, if any of this finds you and it feels like the target hits you dead center in the chest and you need help in this area, I got you. Okay, I got you. My friend will tell you, people that I've worked with, I got you. I'm going to show up for you. I'm going to walk you through this hand in hand. No judgment, self-compassion are pillars of this program. We are not here to abuse ourselves. We are here to honor ourselves, to love on ourselves and love on one another. And so I look forward to serving you. I am excited about the start of the Inner Circle Collective. Denine's promise that we don't see you as broken, that you are whole, that is true. And I firmly believe that. And the more that you start to believe that about yourself, you will start to see things change. And with that, I will give it back over to Miss Meriwether.
Girl, all I'm going to say is mic drop, mic drop, mic drop. So many of us inside of the chat. Look, okay, so I have on the screen right now, I dropped inside of the chat the link to sign up for the Well Rested Yogi sign up. So I need you to go ahead and do that if you haven't done that. I also, if you enjoyed this conversation, if you want to spend more time with her, if you want to see her inside of the collective as a coach, and you want to be able to be in that space continuously, then I want you to also join that wait list. It is super duper important that you join today. There's so many great, mic drop. Dr. Ross said, yep, mic drop. Yeah. So many of us can relate, especially moms, that it's a thing. And we just stretch ourselves so thin, so often, so many times, trying to be there. Oh, hey, all right, big sis.
Hey, my
She's
sister.
in here. Yes, big sister is in here. Hey, Lori. I'm so happy that you are here. But look, if you haven't signed up on the wait list, sign up on the wait list. If you haven't signed up for the Well Rested Yogis giveaway, I mean, she's like, you join her wait list, she's giving away stuff. But also, it's an opportunity for you to start working with her now. Why wait until January? There's no reason to wait until January. If you know you're not doing what you need to do to take care of yourself now, it's almost like waiting to have a heart attack. Why are you waiting to have a heart attack? like what? Why are you waiting to have a heart attack when you already know you're not keeping the schedule the way that you need to? You're not doing the things that you need to. Why would you wait to have a heart attack? If you know that it's an opportunity for you to work with her now to get what it is that you need now, so you can be even in better health and enter into the community at a better place, then let's do that. But don't wait to take care of yourself. If you know this is something that you need and that you need right now, go ahead and sign up on her list. Get the freebies, spend time with her, get to know her, and wrap your loving arms around the rest that you know that you need. Because rest is not it's not a necessity only, but it is a success strategy. So if you want to be successful in those other areas of your life, you gotta get the rest that you need. So thank you so much, Gwendolyn, Althea, the Well Rested Yogi, for being here, being a part of this community. Awesome job, awesome information. Definitely put inside the chat now some of the takeaways that you will take with you as we get ready for our last and final speaker. Anything that you want to say before you go? How can people follow you? Gwen.
I am Well Rested Yogi everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Yes.
All right. So she's easy to find. Well Rested Yogi. Go ahead, Gwen, when you get a second, drop it inside the chat. I don't know if drop it inside the private chat. You can't do it in the main chat, but I want people to make sure that they get that. I think right now I'm going to drop her sign up one more good time so y'all can have it. It's right there in your feed. I know there's been comments. I'm going to do that. And then good luck to you guys on winning that opportunity to spend time with her. Again, Gwen, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the work that you do. Thank you so much for giving moms freedom and free to be, free to act, and free to express ourselves. So we're just so excited that you're here in this space and look forward to additional information from you in the future. All right, y'all. So now it is time for us to get ready to talk about something that may be difficult, may be difficult for us. Not too many people like to hear about transitioning, dying, people die, transition in our lives. Definitely, our parents, a lot of us are at the age where we are starting to care for our parents and help them with things. I know my dad is 83. My mom has already transitioned from an illness. And we were kind of prepared, but not really prepared. So I'm sure, I'm going to bring my sister up. She's actually my sister, LaShawn E. Michael Esquire. She's going to come and talk to us about estate planning. But what I want to just, I guess start this conversation, LaShawn, and you could come off mute. I want you to just say, like, what was it that caused you to open this business and to focus on estate planning?
Well, first off, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Denise, for giving me this opportunity to be a part of the Inner Circle Collective. I'm honored. I'm not just here because I'm her sister and I'm one of her biggest supporters, but I passionately believe in what we are trying to do to elevate not just Black women, but all women and all people in regards to being a whole and healthy person in a holistic way, spiritually, financially, wellness, career, and in relationships, because those are the big ticket items in life. So thank you for having me. And one reason I was here, and the reason, the impetus I started this business was because of our mother dying. I'm going to talk about that briefly in the presentation, but we were prepared because my mother communicated. Our mother communicated to us. But so often that is not the case in families. And I know for sure, even though we were able to execute everything for our mother, and we made a decision as a family that we were going to support each other's decisions and support each other through our mom's illness and subsequent transition, so often that is not the case. And so I wanted to prevent families from fighting, for being in disgust and disagreement when they're going through probably the hardest thing in their life. And that's losing a loved one, losing a parent, losing a child, losing a sibling. So that was the impetus. And of course, Denise and I took action because I can tell you that our father estate plan is done. And so even though we were not prepared in the sense of having the 4 core documents for our mother, we wanted to make sure that there was no chance for something else that I'm going to talk about during my presentation, of anyone else coming in and disrupting the plans that our father has for us as a legacy builder, as the head of our family, but also to make sure that we would change our mind as life changes and causes any rift. Death is a strange bedfellow, and it will turn the person that you least expect into a monster for something that someone had intended for someone else. So that was the impetus. Of course, mom's death, but also making sure that when it came to our father, who's now 83, that we would not be in the same predicament, because we did have to do some probate items for our mother, even though she pretty much gave us the blueprint of what she wanted to be done with her things and her estate and with us. And I thank her for that, for always communicating, being honest, being open, and sharing with us her wishes. But so many families struggle with that. And that's what I'm going to talk about today in regards to making sure that there's nothing left to chance. You build your whole life and you work your whole life to build a life for your family and a legacy. You got to make sure that you're planning for it. You got to make sure you're planning for it when you transition.
Okay. So look, I think if that didn't ring a bell, didn't help you, sit down. I know this is a transition. We were talking about rest, and now we're about to talk about death and preparing yourself and making sure that your legacy is protected and making sure that you're planning for it. It's an important conversation. Don't get crazy. Don't walk away. This is the time to lock in. Put it in the chat. Lock in. I'm gonna lock in. Put it in the chat. I'm gonna lock in. That you want to be prepared to make sure that this don't catch you and your family off guard. That you are ready. That they are ready, and that the only thing that they're gonna have to do is push a button or push a paper or make a phone call, and then everything else is gonna be straight in celebration of the life that you live, the things that you left, in the relationships that you built. All right, Sean, without further ado, I'm turning it over to you. Go ahead and introduce yourself, and let's get this party started.
Well, thank you again, Denise Merriweather, for bringing me through this. But I'm wanting to once again introduce myself for those of you who do not know who I am. I'm LaShawnee Michael Esquire, founder and CEO of Cycles of Life Estate Planning Company, where we're moving people from financial security to financial freedom while building a financial legacy that will last a lifetime. And you say, LaShawn, how do we do this? Well, we're going to ace that thing. We're going to assess, we're going to consult, and then we're going to execute all your estate planning and financial needs. Excuse me, y'all. I guess I needed to drink a sip of water. Well, today, what we're going to talk about is what's stopping you from estate planning now. I promise you, you think estate planning is hard. It is easier than you think. And it's for everyone. And it doesn't matter how much you have, it's how much you value it and where you want it to go. So what I'm telling you is get started now. It's never too early to get started with estate planning. So once again, of course, my introduction, you all know who I am. I've been licensed for 25 years on maternity. I have been doing this work for a very long time. And I want to help you get over the hump of the fear of estate planning. So what's stopping you from estate planning now? As I told you before, you work hard to build the life you want, to gain the things you have, to prepare your family through retirement and pension and benefits and all these things that we do. What is your plan to protect it? So often we are just thinking about all the things we could do while we're alive, never thinking about building the real legacy for our family. And like the commercial that we are seeing from the estate planning companies that we see online, just saying that it doesn't count. So you've got to get moving and you've got to get started on what you want to see happen with you and your family and build generational wealth and a life of legacy for your family. Too often, particularly in the African-American community, we're not even in the generational wealth conversation because we have done nothing to make sure we prepare to leave something forward. I promise you, it doesn't matter how much you have, it's what's important to you and what is valuable to you and your family. And you want to make sure that you are doing the things needed to pass it on to someone else. Who do we serve? Of course, individuals, families, guardians, caretakers, and retirees, everyone, because estate planning is for everyone. Now, when you come into the room, I always want you all to have questions to know how you're going to move forward. What are you going to get out this presentation? And what are the questions that you should be asking? These 4 questions that I'm about to tell you are the questions that when you start estate planning and as you continue to estate plan, because you are realizing that estate planning is fluid. It's continual. It is going to continue to change as you go through the cycles of life. So 4 questions you need to ask yourself. Who do you care about? What do you care about? Who do you want to get your assets? Who do you want to get your stuff? And who do you want to execute those wishes? Who do you want to help you pass these things on from your estate? Those are the 4 questions. Every time that you sit down to make a discussion or make a list or have a discussion and come to a lawyer, you need to be keeping those questions in mind. So my business coach always tells me that we got to level set the room. Why are we here? And I can tell you why I'm here. And the question you need to ask yourself every time you go to a presentation, whether it's estate planning or anything else in the Inner Circle Collective, why are you here? What do you hope to gain? And what are you going to contribute to the space? So what I'm going to contribute to the space today is I'm here to encourage, educate, and empower you to get started on your estate planning now. Who am I? Of course, I'm a daughter. I'm a sister in love. I'm an aunt. I'm a proud mortgage bearer. And if you do not know, I graduated from the national treasure declared by the United States government, Morgan State University. So I am a proud bear. I am also a graduate from the first public university in the United States, University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. I'm a Tar Heel. My mother was a Tar Heel, Tar Heels. And that is where I graduated from law school. Of course, I'm a servant of God. I'm a public servant. I have worked in the public service sector for most of my legal career. And for today and for this collective and what I bring from this business is we are legacy builders. I'm a legacy builder. You are a legacy builder. The people in these pictures, minus my brother-in-law that's not in here, but he's important to me too. He's just not in one of these pictures. These are the most important people to me besides God. And so I want to make sure that I'm being a legacy builder for them. What happened that made me take action on my estate planning? Well, my sister and I kind of got into it before we got on and we started the presentation. Our mother died. It was the most difficult thing that has ever happened in my life up to that point. When my mother passed away, I was 43 and my sister was 41. And we were getting ready to transition to 44 and 42. My mom died before both of our birthdays. And as my sister and I just told you all, my mom had the illness for 6 years. She died in 2019. And this picture depicts me holding her hand. And if you can see, there's a medical device on her hand, which monitors her heart rate. She was in the last days of her life. She was on a ventilator. She couldn't speak to us. She wasn't even opening her eyes. Her organs were shutting down. And so in that moment, I realized that even though my family is going through a smooth transition, because as I told you all, my dad, my sister, and I decided we were not going to fight about anything. We were going to make all decisions as a unit. And there was nothing that my mom had that wasn't open to all of us. There were specific things she gave to us, but overall, we knew that everything was going to stay with my dad for the most part. He was married to her for 44 years. So at this point, it is his, and we will help my dad manage it. So we had already made that decision. But I knew in my heart of hearts that this was not the situation for everyone. And in fact, an estate fight has occurred in our own family. So I'm going to tell you about that later. But that was the impetus of starting this business, to make sure that families are encouraged, educated, and empowered to make estate planning decisions before it is too late. So often families do not think about this, and the minute the loved one dies, they're now in for the fight. My mother did not have any core estate planning documents, and we wanted to make sure that our dad had them, and I wanted to make sure that people going forward that come in contact with me would know that they need to get their documents now. So what's stopping you from estate planning now? I believe it's 4 factors that are preventing people from moving forward with estate planning. What's stopping you from estate planning? Here are the 4 factors: fear, time, money, and commitment. All of those things are hindering people from making the decisions, but I promise you, if you just step out of yourself and realize you can do this, I promise you, it will help you, catapult you to get started. So let's talk about the first one, fear. Of course, we know what fear is. It's false evidence appearing real, but it's real for people, okay? I'm not coming here telling you that this is not a hard conversation. It's not an uncomfortable conversation. It's not a morbid conversation. No one wants to speak about death. No one wants to speak about this, but I promise y'all, death is coming. If it hasn't already hit your family already, it will. You will be on the front row at somebody's church or facility or urn or whatever celebration you choose. And I promise it's coming to you. You will pass away. What position do you want to leave your family in? That is the number one conversation you got to have. What position do you want to leave your family in? Are you really a legacy builder? Or you're a legacy destroyer? Because if you do not make plans for your family, the court system will make plans for you. Other thing is, a lot of people do not want to hurt their family members. They don't want to leave somebody out. And remember, fear either paralyzes you or causes you to act. And the tools that I'm going to give you, if you join the Inner Collective and you work with me personally, I promise you, I'm going to move you from paralysis and fear to action. The other thing is time. But I hate to tell y'all, time is not on your side. My sister always tells us you have less time than you think. That is the truth. The Bible is clear. You neither know the time nor the hour of when death is going to strike you. Every day I hear conversations about people dying. I had a client maybe 2 years ago, co-worker in my other business. She calls me one day out of the blue. I'm thinking she's talking to me about our work, that we work together. She called to tell me that her husband had a massive heart attack at 39 and died. They have 3 children. He is from another state and has land and property with his mother and his siblings. And let me tell y'all, her and the mother-in-law did not get along. She did not even know where her deed was. She didn't even know she had a deed. And she is sitting here and she's like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Am I going to lose my house? Can I afford my house by myself? But I can't even find the deed. I don't know if I have the right of survivorship. I don't know what is happening. And I'm concerned about where my children and I are going to live. I don't even know if his mother has co-signed for our home. So I tell you this And after I had to get her together and tell her, I said, you do have the deed. It's probably somewhere in your house. You got to find it or go to the courthouse and pay $10 and get a copy of it. But I tell you, time is on your side. I'm sure her husband walked into wherever he walked in that day, having no thought he was going to die. Certainly she did not. Neither one of them knew. And now she's scrambling because not only do they not have estate planning documents, they've had no real conversation. But remember, conversation doesn't count. You got to put it in writing. And then the other conversation we always have, I got time to build my legacy. I got time. I'm young. You know, I think about myself. I used to tell people, oh, I got time to serve God and get saved. I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to every club. I'm going to dance every weekend. And if you talk to me and my sister privately, we'll tell you we sure did. But we knew that we needed to have a relationship with God. Because, again, I have too many family members, you too, and you got too many friends that have died and was young. Don't assume you're going to make it to be a ripe old age. You just did not. Yeah, we did have a good time, Janine. But you do not know what is going to happen. You need to know the day, the hour. You have less time than you think. And the last one we always hear, I need time to get my money right. Well, my mother was very wise, and she told me all the time, if you wait for your money to be right, to have a child, to go on a trip, to do anything else, you'll never go. Money is never going to be right. It's never a good time to spend money, but it is a good time to spend money for things that's a necessity. And I promise you, y'all got shoes in the closet, bags in your closet, clothes in your closet that you spent all this money on. And then I tell you, it's a depreciating value. But you won't take the time or use the money to make sure you can shore up your estate plan and make sure your family is okay. Because I really tell you, death is life-changing for everyone involved, not just the person in the casket or the urn. Money. And it's money, because when it gets to the why, it's the why we do not want to spend. So that's why it's looking like it's ascending up, because we spend on what matters to us. My sister and I was laughing because just a couple of weeks ago, my sister, my nieces, and I went to see Beyonce. It was fabulous. But my sister and I have been planning this surprise for my nieces because they had no idea we were going until we had dinner. We were across the street from where we were going into the concert. That I had been trying to get tickets, and we started trying to get tickets in February of 2025. Now, let me tell y'all what I did, because I'm serious. Now, I've seen Beyonce probably 10, 11 times. But my nieces had never gone to a big concert as young adults and teenagers. So my sister and I wanted to surprise them. I pulled over during my father's 83rd birthday celebration because we get together with him every year. I pulled over to a country little town in South Carolina. No disrespect to South Carolina. My dad's from South Carolina. We love South Carolina. But I put into a little town. I pulled to a convenience store. I looked around the convenience store. I became concerned because I saw no one that looked like me. And all of them were looking at me like, why are you here? And tried to get tickets. And girl, I couldn't even get the tickets. There was no internet. So I did all that to see Beyonce, who made $400 million on this concert that we contributed to, my sister and I. And I won't go get estate planning documents. We spend on what matters to us. Because I promise you, as much as we love Beyonce, I think she has an agape love for us, and we are also making her a billionaire. She don't care nothing about us, like God, like our family, the things that are important. Spend on what's important. Don't spend on just frivolous things all the time. There's nothing wrong with having fun. There's nothing wrong with buying things, but spend on what matters, what's going to be long lasting. Build your hopes on things eternal, not that it's going to fade away. Now, you're going to pay now or you're going to pay later. You choose. So I told y'all that we had another incident in our family. My dad has been sued for land he inherited from his great aunt, my great aunt, our great aunt, his aunt. My great aunt wrote a will in 1979. That's older than probably some of y'all on this screen. 1979, that left my dad as the beneficiary, along with his first cousin. My great aunt then amended her will, okay, with a third grade education, amended her will to leave my dad as the sole beneficiary. My great aunt lived to be 101. She was almost 102. She was literally months away from 102. And she died in 2014. Now it's 11 years later. A cousin sued my dad in regards to ownership of the land before the probate order closed. So right when we were getting the final probate order to make my dad the sole beneficiary and owner of this land, he has a third cousin that sues him for possession of the land, and that the land is not solely supposed to be with him. Do y'all know in 2025, we are still fighting this lawsuit? You're going to pay now, you're going to pay later. Now, my great aunt had a will, but probably with the kind of, if she would have really got counsel from an estate planning attorney, they would have told her she needed a trust, because that land would have passed on to my dad and no one would have even known. Because a trust avoids you from having to go through probate court and being notifying everyone else that you got land that's available. So she paid. She got a will. I'm sure she didn't pay much, because the family who did her will probably was a family she was working for, because she was a domestic. But she had enough wherewithal to know to protect the land that was in and has been in our family since the 1800s. Our great-grandfather bought this land. She knew she needed a will or something. So she paid a little bit of money, but it's costing us now a lot of money because she didn't have the right estate planning instrument. So my sister and I spent a couple of $1,000s to make sure our estate plan for our dad was appropriate. But my mother and father, because this has been going on pre my mother dying, and we're still fighting, because now our case is in the South Carolina Court of Appeals. We won a trial, then our cousin appealed, and now it's been sitting in the Court of Appeals for 2 years. My family has probably spent almost $50,000 on this lawsuit. You're going to pay now or pay later. So when you are crying about, I don't have the money to do estate planning now, it may cost you tens of thousands, and it could be hundreds of thousands later. You choose. You say, I can't afford it right now. You can't afford, I'm going to tell you, you cannot afford to not estate plan right now. It doesn't matter if you have a house. It doesn't matter if you have acres of land. Estate plan, because whatever is valuable to you, I guarantee you wanted to go to somebody that you care about and you want to have. And if you do not estate plan, it will not. You cannot afford to not estate plan now, because I've had 2 calls, including this week, where family members have called me and said, my aging parent is now suffering from dementia. She is spending like a crazy person. I do not know what to do, and I now need to get a power of attorney. Well, I had to tell one client, it's too late. Your mother is too far gone. If she does not have any lucid intervals, if she cannot be of sound mind to sign a power of attorney to you, no lawyer who cares about their license is going to do it. The best you can do now is try to become guardian of your mother. And if she has a lucid interval of court and they feel like she doesn't need the guardianship, you're at the same place. This is why it is so important about estate planning. You're right, Sharice. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Prince's estate has been settled for the most part. I know his sister, one of his siblings, because Prince was an only child between his parents, but he has 7, I believe, half siblings. Prince wrote slave on his face to tell y'all to make sure you got your money for record companies, but it had an attorney, and the attorney never told him to get an estate plan. And this man has millions and millions of dollars of written material, songs that have not been released. His sister's running his estate amok. And Aretha Franklin, we could go on and on, of celebrities that have made several millions of dollars who have not estate planned. It usually is Black celebrities. It's sad, but it's true. People are resistant about spending money to protect their lives and protect their legacy. That's what we're here for, you all. That is what we're here for. If you're not thinking about how you're going to make your family better when you die, I'm telling you, we've seen too many examples of how this could go awry. What's stopping people? Commitment. Most people don't want to be committed to this. It's too hard. I don't know what to do. I'm afraid. All the things. Honor what matters. If your family being okay matters, honor it. Honor it. I spend at least once a month trying to think of ways to make sure that my sister, my nieces, and my dad, if he doesn't predecease me or any of them, are okay. I got life insurance. I'm trying to get long-term care because I am up here trying to prepare because I don't have any children. And I'm getting ready to turn the age that children biologically is probably about to be out the question. So who is going to care for me? You know, because my sister cute and young and all the things. But, you know, I may outlive her. Yes, Gwen, it's expensive to be poor. It is expensive to be poor. So what I'm telling you is that I don't want my nieces to have to consider moving a family member in and how I'm going to care for my aunt. And now I got a husband or a partner and I can't figure it out and I got kids and I don't have the money. I just was on another Thought Legion page and she was talking about her aunt and how she couldn't even afford long term, but she found a nice facility in the southwest side of Atlanta and was able to negotiate something with them. I want to make sure my sister and my family are prepared now. So when and if that time comes, you know, a lot of us is going to suffer through illness before we die. That's just a reality. And if we don't get this rest together, we don't get our relationship with God and others together, if we don't drink the water, we don't do the things, we very well might find ourselves with some of those health insecurities and health comorbidities that Gwen just talked about. So you have to be prepared. And I spend every day thinking about how I can make it best for my family. It's the same thing my father does. It was the same thing my mother did. It's the same thing my sister does. How can I make my family life better, not only on earth, but as we go on and live? Yes, Iris, it's so important. It is so important. Communicate with your family. You know, it is shocking to me how many people have conversations with one family member, but then have 4 siblings. I have had a situation where I have a soror that did a consultation with me with her mother, and her brother has now started speaking to her because of the consultation. If you go on my page, I tell you all the time to make sure that you are communicating with your family. I will even do a consultation with your entire family to make sure that y'all are committed to estate planning and y'all are clear what's happening. The other thing is you got to prepare, plan, and progress. I know it's hard, but you got to commit to this. You have to start preparing. You have to make sure that your family members know how to contact your insurance company. Some people got life insurance and nobody in their family knows who to contact. I've been owing my sister a list of all my insurance contacts for 5 years now. And I got an estate plan. And she's still waiting for the list. But I'm going to get her straight before the year is out. That's my commitment to need. But what I can tell you is this. When you fail to plan, you plan to fail. It is aggravating, y'all, to go through a probate process. Even with my mother, my sister and I had to travel to South Carolina so many times. Do you know how hard it was to keep walking into my parents' house and our mother wasn't there? But we had to go to court, and we had to go to court as a group because I can't do anything because Deneen ain't there. Deneen can't do anything if I'm not there. You know, it is time and money and all the things and fear that happens when you don't plan. Okay? So I'm telling you all, fear, time, money, and commitment, we got to walk away through that. And when you get off of this program today, I want you all to start planning, start preparing now. Don't wait. You don't need a lawyer to start thinking about who you want to leave your stuff to. Okay? What's the solution? So in 2026, my sister and I told you we are going to start a fantastic program that is going to work on your mind, body, and soul and spirit. For me, we're going to start the Legacy Builder Academy. As one of the financial coaches in here, I want to train you all on how to make sure that you are prepared to start estate planning. So let me tell you about the program. It's going to be a digital program, but I'm going to be up there. I'm going to teach it. You're going to have access to me. It's 5 weeks. It's 5 modules, 30 to 45 minutes. It is going to cost you $350 for 5 weeks of programming for 30 to 45 minutes. You're going to be able to have Q&As with me and all the things. This is valued over $1,000. My consultation, y'all, are $250. That's how much I charge people to talk to me. So $350 is a steal to get this information. But you're going to learn about assets. You're going to learn about life insurance. You're going to learn about so many different programs. I'm telling you all, jump on this in January 2026 because I'm ready to serve you and I'm ready to help you get started. What will you gain from the program? You're going to know what you own. So many of y'all have things that you care about, brooches that you got from your great grandmother, necklaces, heirlooms, art. You're going to know what you own. And then you're going to be able to execute your legacy effectively. You know, you're going to be able to move and go and rest at night knowing that you have picked your daughter to be the executor and she's going to execute what your wishes are. You're going to choose trusted people to maintain your legacy because legacy is not just stops. It doesn't stop when you die. It's ongoing. You think about the legacy of information that your parent or your loved one has given you. The things that my mom taught me back in 1985 still resonates in 2025 with me. Maintain your legacy. You're going to honor what matters most to you. And what matters most to me is my family, my friends, my church. Because estate planning can include your church and your charitable organizations. If you want to help people and serve people, leave money for folks to be able to be not unhoused, to be unhoused or whatever, honor what matters most to you. And then it's going to help you protect with purpose. Just as Gwen said, just as Chrissy said, clarity creates confidence and confidence helps you move towards purpose. You're going to have clarity, confidence, and purpose to move on any way you need to in your estate planning journey. And what I tell you all is a journey because you will have cycles of life, things will change, and you're going to need different things. So don't just think you're going to get your estate planning documents and that's it. You got to review them often and change them often because you don't want to have a dead beneficiary or a husband that you've now divorced and can't stand on your estate planning documents because I promise you, when you tender those into the court, if it's up there, they're not trying to find out no information about you. They like him anymore. And he's remarried and all the things. Do the things you need to do. This is what this program is going to do and help you get to and be comfortable. And then what will you gain from this? And the main thing you need to know is once you graduate from the Legacy Builders Academy, I don't go away. We're going to now get you a legacy lockbox. And I'm going to give you a physical lockbox. That was one of the brainchilds from the Inner Circle Collective. See, because we help each other build our businesses to the best. You're going to get a lockbox because so many of y'all don't even have a safe. You don't have a safe deposit box, which I don't recommend if you don't do the things you need to do. But you're going to get a physical lockbox. And then you're going to have a discovery call from me that's free. We're going to talk for 30 minutes. And I'm going to time myself because usually I talk longer than that. And we're going to find out what you need. And then we're going to have a consultation. And then we're going to get your core estate planning and documents done. And you can choose to do it with me or someone else. But my hope is that you feel comfortable after doing the Legacy Builders Academy that you will stay on with me to make sure we finish the deal and close the deal. And you get some documents down and you don't tarry on doing it to make sure that you are set to go when it's time for you to go. So we're going to get a will, trust, power of attorney, advance directive. Now, of course, you may not need all those things. That's why the consultation and the discovery call is going to help us discover, excuse the pun. You're going to get some estate planning tools and worksheets because, as I said, things will continue to change. This is a fluid process, and you want to make sure that you have all the tools you need to continue to grow and make sure that your estate planning is saying the things you wanted to say as close as possible before your death. Now, what you're going to gain from the Legacy Builder Academy and the Legacy Box? Peace of mind. It's nothing like going to sleep at night and knowing that my sister is aware of my documents. My sister has got copies of my documents, so she don't have to look for the originals. She knows where the originals are. She knows what she needs to do. Because if my dad is alive, he's not going to do this. But he's going to inherit something, but he's not going to do this. So it gives me peace of mind to know at night I'm going to be okay. It gives my sister and I peace of mind to know that my dad is going to be okay. His legacy is going to stand because we've already done the work. Okay. And my dad is probably in the fourth quarter of his life, and I'm still at the second quarter because I'm not trying to move to the third quarter, but that's another show in another counseling session. Also, it's going to give you protection of your family, your assets, and what you value, y'all. These are the most important things for you. It's not about things. It's about the people you leave behind and what legacy you want to leave behind. And then it's going to empower y'all to make informed decisions about your life, because you're going to have things that happen in your life that you need to make decisions on. Do I have enough life insurance? Can I borrow off my life insurance? Can I use my life insurance to get me some long-term care? All those things are going to matter, and it's going to leave a lasting, impactful legacy, because as Gwen talked about, you want to be examples for your children. So many of us work hard to make sure that our children's lives are better than our lives. When I look at my nieces, I am for sure know that they are blessed, and that my sister and my brother-in-law have worked hard to make sure that they have more than them. That is the same thing I can say about our parents. My mom and dad made sure that we were better off than them, because if you knew my parents' story, you would be like, wow. Because I say, wow, it is my story, and it's a part of my legacy. So now it's time for some action, y'all. It's time for you all to take some action. You all know that I have a Facebook page, and it's LaShawn E. Michael. I want y'all to go up there, and what I tell you all 2 times a week when I get up there live and then do static posts, I want y'all to like my page, share my page, tell someone about my business, and follow the page, because that increases the algorithm. And this information ain't just for us. And I want you to join the group. And of course, there are going to be exclusive things that you all are going to be and have access to if you join the collective. But this information is for everyone, y'all. I want to move particularly African-American people to estate planning, because so often we do not do it. And a lot of us have no reason, and we have so much to leave behind. And as I said, peace of mind is better than any piece of money. So the link is up here, but my sister has put the link in the thing, and I want y'all to enter this contest. I am giving away an hour consultation that is worth $250 for free, and I'm going to pick the winner. I may let the brainchild of the Inner Collective pick the winner, but we'll talk about that offline. We're going to announce the winner on Monday. So you got to be a fast actor. Do not wait, because this conversation may be the impetus to get you started. I also do written assessments. Now I'm going to tell you, my sister and I got estate planning for our dad. The lawyer didn't do nothing but one consultation with us. We barely got a phone call. We came down to South Carolina, and they executed the documents. There was no other conversation. The questions we had, my sister and I had questions. Some of the questions still weren't answered. And we've done this 3-4 years ago now. I do a written assessment because I want you to know and have on hand what we talked about, what I'm committed to do, and what you are committed to do. So I give you things that I think you need and tell you what I think you need. And I also give you action items, and I give myself action items. So when we come back, we don't have to have 5 consultations. We're going to get started on your documents, and they're going to be executed within 2 to 3 weeks. So you're going to win this for free, and you're going to get the written assessment, which some of my clients told me I need to start charging additional for the written assessment, but I'm not, because that's what makes me unique. And again, it's not just about money for me. It's about helping people. Okay. And I'm using your consultation fee these days to add to your documents to lessen your bill. So for the person who wins this, the lucky fast action taker who wins this is going to get a 1-hour free consultation. And as I said, it is valued at $250 because that's what I charge. And you're going to get your written assessment. Okay. So that's what we're doing today. And if you need to contact me, my contact information is on the screen. As I said, my Facebook page is LaShawn E. Michael. And this is my address. My phone number is 404-590-5036. And this is my email address, lem@LaShawnEMichaelLLC.com. And I want y'all to join the page because I am taking a break for the month of August. But anyone who's been following my page for the last 5 years, I do live videos on Mondays and Fridays. I do a topic of the week video on Mondays and a recap on Fridays, and answer questions about estate planning for free if you put them in the comments during the week. Tuesday through Thursday, I do static posts. I have talked about a wealth of topics and given a lot of information and action for free. I implore you to go back on that page and start looking and join the page so you can catch all these things that we do weekly. And I'll be starting back in September. As I said, I'm taking a break for travel and other things this month. But I want you to go back up there because it's so much great content and information. And as I said, it's a conduit to be able to talk to me. And the consultation form and all those things are on the page. So I'm looking forward to serve you all. I thank y'all so much for the continued support. I thank you for listening today. Let's move this fear, this time, this money, and let's make the commitment to start estate plan today. When you get off this program today, start thinking about those 4 questions. Who do you care about? What do you care about? Who do you want to have your stuff? And who do you want to help you execute it once you pass away? Thank you so much. And I turn this back over to Deneen. And I said we're going to have exciting times in January 2026. I hope you all stay tuned. Thank you so much.
Super duper job, Sissy. Thank you so much for that wonderful information. So look, I want to tell y'all, give y'all the right things to do, the right things to do right now. Now, this form, jot form, right here is what you need to fill out to be in the drawing for the giveaway, because it's her giveaway. That's hers. So you need to make sure you have filled out the jot form, and I'd be more than happy to pick the winner for the people who fill it out today. But it's only for the people that fill out today, and of course it'll be dated. So if you want to win a 1-hour consultation along with a write-up, meaning that it's going to tell you the next actions to take, and you don't even have to take the actions with her. Do you get that? See, when you pay for a consultation to get the information, you don't necessarily have to go to the same lawyer to get the work done. You know what needs to be done, so you can take your time on executing the plan, right? So what is it? What is your act? What is it? What is it? Is it act?
It's ACE.
ACE. So ACE is the thing.
Consult and execute.
You're gonna assess,
consult,
execute. And execute. So look, if you want to assess, you want to get the consulting done, and then you want to have something to execute, you need to go ahead and fill out the jot form. Now, the next thing that I want you to do, because this is our last opportunity right now in order for you to join this wait list. We don't want you to wait. We don't want you to put it off. You know, we will keep you abreast on the things. I told you that I'm actually going to be doing a free 1-hour plus session where you get coaching and ask questions about the busy trap, finding God when you're overscheduled, overworked, and overstressed. So if you are interested in a conversation about that, then I want you to definitely be on the wait list, because there's no other way to get into that session without being on the wait list. So get on the wait list. Unless you are already on my list and inside of my community, you will not get that information to join that free session. So join the wait list and get signed up so you can receive the information and get an opportunity to get some of these freebies that we're actually giving away in order to help you now, even though we may not be open, right? Because we're not launching until January. But it doesn't mean that you can't continue to get a taste of what it is it would be like inside of that community. So I just dropped the link. Click the link to be on the wait list. Click her form to actually be in the registration to win. That's the form that you see on the screen. So 2 forms, 2 things, 2 different things. Do both. Do both. One is the wait list. One is her jot form. Jot form, free consultation. Wait list, free session that's coming up on August the 16th. You got to be in it to win it. All right. So look, so excited. Thank you so much, Sissy, for being here. Thank you so much for being a part of the collective. No doubt that you would be participating. So happy that you are one of my greatest supporters, but you also have a business that people should value and value the information to get them prepared for these cycles of life, because we all have them, and you don't want to wait until it's too late in order to get your things together. No need to wait another minute. Get your estate planning done now. Thank you, Sissy. Thank you so much. All right. So look, that's the day. Come on. We at 11:53. That means I'm getting you out on time. Thank you again to all the people who actually taught today, who shared themselves: Pamela Henstead, Christy Davis, Gwendolyn Althea, and LaShawn E. Michael Esquire. Again, my name is Deneen Merriweather. Guess what I am now the founder of? I am the founder of the Inner Circle Collective, where we cause women to reimagine, rediscover, and reclaim their lives in the area of career, spirituality, relationship, finances, and health. If that sounds like a community for you that you want to be a part of, you want to grow, you want to get clarity, you want to be able to move in purpose powerfully, then this is the community for you. The Inner Circle Collective, launching January of 2026. Look, you guys, I could not be more excited to be doing it with the group of ladies that God has blessed me with in my circle and to be able to serve you. So make sure you get your name on the wait list. If you've been waiting for a one-stop shop, you got it. It's here and it's ready for you. 2026, the Inner Circle Collective. Make sure you're on the wait list. I look forward to serving you. I look forward to teaching on August the 16th. Put it on your calendar right now, starting at 12 noon. It's going to be August 16th, 12 noon. So you can get it on your calendar. The information is coming. The registration is coming. And again, the only people that will have access are the people on this list and the people that's already in my community. So if you're not already on any list that I have and you're not in any community, I need you to get on this wait list right now so we can talk about the busy trap, how to find God when you're overworked, overstressed, and overscheduled. And schedules run the world. That's the only hint I'm going to give you. So I love you. Always looking forward to serving you. I will see you guys hopefully inside of the collective. If not, I'll see you on August the 16th at 12 o'clock p.m. Have an amazing afternoon. Thank you, Tiffany, for being here.